Hello folks, welcome to the Denmark Castle After Show. I'm your host, Ryan Fantana. Today we have three guests from the recent movie Hamlet. Claudius, the former king of Denmark, Laertes, and the Prince Hamlet himself. The theme of today's show is corruption. Our first guest today is Jake Stewartson, who plays Claudius in the movie Hamlet. Thanks for coming, Jake.
That's correct. Thanks for inviting me, Ryan.
In the movie Hamlet, Claudius is a man who kills his older brother in order to gain the throne of Denmark. In addition to that, he also marries his brother's wife. Jake, why do you feel like your character did this?
Well, in the movie Hamlet, my character Claudius always played the second role to King Hamlet. So when I had the one chance to take the throne and get his wife, I took it. So those were the two corrupted decisions I made as Claudius.
We obviously know about your hatred towards your brother, but when Hamlet started to realize about suspicious activity that was going on between you and also with his father's death, what did you do in order to try to kill him?
Well, the story screamed corruption after the various attempts how we try to kill Hamlet. For example, we tried to poison Laertes' foil, and then we offered him a toast right after, which turned back out on us, and eventually killed my wife.
Our second guest today is Connor McFall, who plays Laertes in the movie Hamlet. In the movie Hamlet, Ophelia and Hamlet are madly in love, but due to all the corruption and all the wrongs in the movie, it leads to Ophelia's suicide. Connor, tell us a little bit about Hamlet and how that made you feel, and let's also talk about what were your future plans for that.
The character of Laertes loved his sister. She took care of him whenever he needed anything. In the story, Hamlet acts crazy, ultimately driving Ophelia crazy, leading her to her death. Once I heard of her death, Claudius and I immediately schemed and planned to poison my foil in an effort to kill Hamlet during the fight.
Hamlet killed your father Polonius, thinking that it was Claudius. Now I can understand that would be very difficult for you, because obviously you love your father very much. Now do you believe that this is where Laertes began his corruption, or more along the lines when Ophelia committed suicide?
Well, I love my father and my sister very dearly, but I knew I had to get revenge. So I decided I was going to side with Claudius, who had already had previous plans of killing Hamlet. Hamlet and I had a duel, and Claudius schemed and plotted that he was going to poison the end of my foil in our duel. It ended up turning against us, and I ended up getting stabbed by my own foil. But in the end, Hamlet did end up dying, though, and we got our revenge on Hamlet.
Very good. Prince Hamlet, as the main character, encounters many problems in this story. Hamlet pretends to be crazy due to the death of his father. Ironically, later he begins to see ghosts of his father. How did Hamlet feel about his father's death, and also about his dad's constant reappearances?
Well, the character of him loved his father dearly and looked at his father as an idol figure. The fact that his father was gone was upsetting, but the part that really made him angry was that his uncle became his stepfather. I was upset at my uncle Claudius and my mother Gertrude. The character of Hamlet reacts to the ghost at first hesitation, obviously. He's seeing a ghost for the first time. However, later falls in love with the ghost and agrees to take revenge upon his father's death. This in itself is corrupt for a man to be so crazy that he believes the reappearance of his father, not as a human being, but as a ghost.
Guest today is Ali Sashu, who plays Hamlet, the main character in the movie Hamlet. Later in the story, Hamlet admits to his deep love for Ophelia. Do you believe that this deep love influenced her death?
Well, yes, I do feel that the character of Prince Hamlet did in fact influence the death of Ophelia. Prince Hamlet not only acted crazy, but also believed that his reappearance of his father as a ghost. The character of Hamlet deeply regretted the fact that he did not show enough emotion for Ophelia while he had the chance.
Conclusion. Corruption is like a weed that grows and spreads, choking out the other plants around it. What started off as a greedy man killing his own brother to take his throne and wife eventually led to the death of himself. It's his queen, his nephew, his magistrate's family, and 2 loyal friends. Hamlet is the story of how corruption can add up and ruin the lives of all it touches, whether guilty or not. Thank you for tuning in to Denmark Castle After Show.